Hey, Push Run Nation, Dr. Dave here. Peace. And today we're going to look at a shoe from a company that I have not worn a shoe from in probably 10 to 15 years. And I actually have two shoes, the last ones I bought from the company, that I wore the heck out of at the time. And these shoes were the upper level shoes at that time. And I'm super excited about this shoe because actually tonight I'll be wearing them in the Tunnel to Towers 5K road race. So let's check it out. If you're looking for a high performance, high stack, extremely light race shoe, stay tuned. So let's jump right in. What we're talking about is the Mizuno Rebellion Pro. Now, I first saw this shoe last year at the running event in Austin, Texas. And at the time, it was what I called the panda shoe because it was all black and white and kind of a camouflage type pattern. And obviously, with this unique style on the midsole, people were looking at it like, what the heck is that? First, Mizuno came out with the Rebellion, which was a training shoe. Same look, little heavier foam. This is the upper level Pro. Took a lot of weight out of it. New foams here, which we'll go over. Very lightweight upper. So let's dive right in and look at a few of the specs on here as a first look to the shoe before I strap it on tonight and see how fast I can push these suckers. The upper, extremely lightweight, thin, engineered mesh, very thin, some breathable holes on the side here and on the toes. Have some on the inside also throughout. There's a nice inlaid kind of pattern in the shoe all along here and on the outside, which adds to lateral stability of your foot. The tongue on the shoe is extremely thin, but works because of the flatness of what I call linguine laces, kind of like linguine pasta. Very thin, and that's the type of laces we have on here. Kind of unique feature in the middle of the tongue allows the laces to go through both sides of that tongue to keep it in place. And I didn't even check before to see if this was gusseted at all. It's not, but I guess they're relying on that lacing system they have embedded or cutouts in the middle of the tongue that will prevent that tongue from sliding right to left. Along the eyelets, that's reinforced with a little bit of kind of inlaid, almost rubber plasticky feeling to give that a little bit more kind of heavy-duty feeling to it so that doesn't tear because of the thinness of that upper material. Around the ankle, very well padded. One of the only drawbacks I saw on these, and I don't know if I'm correct in thinking this, but the front of that padding right in here was not glued very much to the upper material. All along the back side here, it is sewn right into the shoe. And you can see the lacing from here all along right to here. But this front section, the tongue or the padding is all together, but it just didn't seem that there was enough glue holding it to the upper material. Maybe I'm wrong in thinking that. Maybe that's the way it's supposed to be. If you have this, the Rebellion Pro from Mizuno, and you've noticed that same thing on your shoes, let me know down in the comments. So let's move down to the midsole, the magic of this shoe. We have 2 layers of foam. On the bottom, we have Mizuno's Inner Z Light, and Inner Z is with a Z or Z from for our European partners, not a G as in Inner G, but Inner Z. So Mizuno Inner Z Light on the bottom and Light Plus on the top. Light Plus is a little bit softer. So that's one of the uniqueness and the feeling that you'll get when putting this shoe on and taking a few steps. You'll feel your foot sink right into that midsole because of the softness of this orange-colored foam up here. So on the top, we have the Mizuno Inner Z Light Plus, and on the bottom, we have the Inner Z Light. And in the middle of all that, we have the new Mizuno Wave Carbon Plate. And that's the first of its kind from Mizuno. And that's pretty stiff. I can't even bend this shoe at all. But once you put it on, because of this cutout right here on the midsole, there's a huge deviated sole, which takes a lot of weight out of the shoe. Plus, when you're flexing your shoe for toe off, that's where you're bending. So let's go to the outsole. This is Mizuno's G3 rubber on the bottom. And I'll tell you, this is a very unique traction system they have here in the rubber. It's almost like mini lugs on the bottom here. If you can see that, I kind of twist it around here so you can see the 3D effect there. And looking at it, it almost looks like under the light blue or aqua color G3 rubber is another type of material. Not sure exactly what that is. Almost looks like a sponge material or consistency with a lot of holes in it. So I'm sure that's something embedded into that traction outsole to provide a little bit more cushion underneath. And again, as I said, there's this huge cutout, 3/4 the length of the entire shoe from here down to here. And that sucker is deep. And you can see from here all along here, the black carbon plate in there. And again, that cutout here, right at that mid-level of your foot, is where you're going to be flexing. I'll tell you, once you put these things on, I thought... I have tried every bouncy shoe out there on the market, but these shoes definitely are in a league of their own. And I can only imagine tonight that these things are going to really assist me in putting some quick paces on my race. Now, the other unique feature, obviously, is that high front rocker on the foot and the rear rocker on the midsole here. Now, the reason for that is when coming down on the pavement, whether you're coming down almost midfoot or 3/4 of the way back or going down the hill and you come down, that whole rocker is going to help get you up on your toe to a good toe off and spring off as quickly as possible. That's what that's made for. Now, the other unique thing on this, when you look at this and you think that Mizuno was saying in the heel is 39 millimeter stack height of foam, and we have 33 millimeter in the forefoot and the 6 millimeter drop. However, for world standards, when they came out with the guidelines for how to measure stack height on super shoes, it's on the heel. And what you see from here to here is the heel area. So this part right here is where 39 millimeters is. Now, just putting this shoe up against the midsole of the ASICS Super Blast. Super Blast had just a little bit higher stack height, but I imagine this right in here, this section, is at least 45 millimeters in stack. So on the world measurement standards, how they measure them is from the insole or sock liner to the bottom of the heel section, which comes under the ankle bone area, which is right here. So if this right here is 39 millimeters, this right here has almost a third more foam on it. So that's why you can imagine what that bounce is going to be like. This is almost as thick as the Adidas Primix Strungs. So I am super excited to pop these on tonight. Just want to check a couple other things here. we're going to look at the weight. This is a U.S. men's size 11.5, and in ounces, we have 8.8 ounces in a men's 11.5 U.S., and let's pop that over to grams, and that's 248 grams. So in my race shoes, right now, I think this is the lightest shoe I have. Now, one other thing I want to check is the softness or density of the foams on here. With my Shore C durometer, we're going to check that out. And we'll check up here in the 4-foot section first. On the bottom, the Mizuno Inner Z Light, and I get 33. And we'll move up to the Light Plus, same section, but above, and I have a 30. And we'll go to the heel area back here. Actually, let's go right here, the thickest part, and I have a 40, right on 40, 39.5, go up to the Light Plus, and I get a 25.5, 26. So I'll tell you, that is among some of the softest foams out there. Those are the same numbers I get on the Nike Vaporfly. Same softness and foam. Looking forward to reporting on how the Rebellion Pro works for me tonight. If you like this shoe, if you've tried it, let me know down in the comments. Let me know what you wear for your race day shoe of choice. This is Dr. Dave. Peace. I'll see you out in the streets, roads, and trails. Take care.